Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban bikum, and welcome to another edition of Tech Bite here on Salam Media. My name is Faizel Patel. Inshallah, I will be in your company until about 7:30 p.m. this evening. Remember that this program is being broadcast live on social media platforms. That's all of Salam Media social media platforms. You can also interact with me by sending me a tweet on at Faizel Patel 143. You can even get me on facebook.com/. Faizel Patel. I'm also on Instagram at Faizel Patel 143. And to some of the videos of the reviews of the technology gadgets and gizmos that I review is available on my YouTube channel, so you can check them out there as well. And that's on youtube.com Faizel Patel. So let's take this opportunity first and foremost to welcome all those listeners tuned in this evening. We do have a packed show, so I'm going to go through some of the things we're going to be speaking about. One of the first things we're speaking about, or stories we're speaking about, is about a new charger from Oppo. It can charge your battery from 0 to 100% in just 9 minutes. Now, you'll tell me that is impossible. Well, you're going to have to stay tuned to find out. We also speak about Nokia's new phones. They've added three new phones to their C series, so I'll be speaking about that as well. Very exciting. This coming Tuesday, Apple has got an event, and you can tune in there as well. I'll tell you where you can tune in and how you can tune in, so you can find out what Apple has up their sleeves. And if you have DStv or you are a DStv subscriber and your family and friends are using your subscription logins, well, some bad news for them because DStv is clamping down on all those people. I know it's sad because I'm one of those that is using somebody else's login and password, my brother's actually. But yes, they are clamping down, and we're going to be speaking about that as well. Remember, as I mentioned, this program is being broadcast live on social media platforms. That's Salam Media social media platforms. And if you've got any questions that you need to ask, you can actually drop it down on this particular live feed that you are actually watching. So check it out on YouTube. This program is broadcast live there on Facebook and the other social media platforms as well. So let's start off with the first story. Remember, I was speaking about Oppo's new charger that can charge a phone battery to 100% in 9 minutes, just 9 minutes. That was announced at the Mobile World Congress. For those that don't know what Mobile World Congress or MWC is, well, basically it happens in Barcelona every year. And this is where they speak about new products, they speak about all the new launches, and there's so much information that comes out. And eventually we see that filter into South Africa, and some of those things will come here as well. Remember, about a few weeks ago, we spoke about the Samsung S22 new series that came out, the S22 edition. Well, that phone is now going to be available for sale, in case you forgot, on the 11th of March. So 11th of March, that phone is now available to consumers in South Africa. Speaking to a friend of mine today at the Trade Route Mall in Indonesia from the Vodacom Shayad, he was telling me that he's received a phenomenal amount of people who ordered the S22 Ultra, and apparently the suppliers are actually running out of stock. So yeah, if you haven't ordered it, there's some good deals there. Check them out as well. But coming on to Oppo's new chargers, this company is a Chinese company, Oppo. Some of you may have the phone. They've unveiled two breakthroughs in high-speed flash charging. That's a 150 watt Super VOOC with battery health engine, also known as BHE, and 240 watt Super VOOC flash charge technology. Now, I know that's obviously a mouthful to pronounce, but if you want to read it and if you missed anything, you can go to my website at faizelpatel.com, also known as Wired to Tech. So, as I mentioned, the announcement was made on Monday last week at the Mobile World Congress 22, and you can actually search for that hashtag on Twitter. Now, Oppo said it has integrated its self developed BHE, which is battery health, with the ultra fast 150 watt Super VOOC flash charge, allowing the battery to maintain 80% of its original capacity after as many as 1600 charge cycles. So, what does it mean? So a charge cycle is every time you put your phone on charge, that's one charge cycle. If you charge your phone 1600 times, that's 1600 charges. So they're saying after 1600 charges, it will still maintain that percentage or the capacity of the battery even after so much. And I know a lot of you struggle, including myself, we struggle with battery. Although the batteries of today, 500 mAh, 5000 mAh, they got phenomenal battery life, but the amount of usage, amount of time we spend on the phone doesn't allow the phone to last as long, or the battery to last as longer. That's why we carry power banks and many others as well. But the problem is when you plug your phone into a wall socket, sometimes it can take up to an hour, 2 hours to charge. Now imagine, just imagine that if you got an Oppo phone or you got a phone and you use this charger, in 9 minutes, your phone will be fully charged. I mean, that's absolutely amazing, right? So let's continue. So to improve all-round charging experience, the 150-watt flash charge features the battery health engine, which can track real-time electric potential across the negative electrodes inside the battery. Now, due to the growing demand for high efficiency charging solutions, the era of 5G intelligent now, if you go in Joburg and if you drive in Joburg, you'll notice that sometimes your phone switches to 5G. That's because you're now entering a 5G network, and this uses more data and also more battery. So Oppo has further pushed the limits of higher power flash charge and launched the 240-watt Super VOOC. This new technology can charge a 500 mAh battery to 100% in 9 minutes. So most of the phones, if not all of them, some of them got bigger batteries, but the average phone, like the Samsungs or the iPhones, have a 500 or 5000 mAh battery. Now imagine, as I mentioned, you plug in your phone or the wall socket, plug in your phone into the wall socket and charge it with the charger, and in 9 minutes, your phone is fully charged. So there's also temperature protection has been advanced via 13 temperature sensors. Remember, we had an issue with the Samsung a few years back, and the battery became too hot. Some of the phones, even today, the battery gets very, very hot, especially when they completely delete it. We'll speak about battery charging on another time. It's very important how you charge your battery. Don't wait for it to be your phone to be completely depleted. When it comes down, charge it. Sometimes people wait. It's not like in the olden days where, remember, when you buy a new phone, you have to charge it for 17 hours, wait till the battery is flat. No. Here, when you reach a certain percentage, it's better to charge the phone when it's maybe half empty as opposed to when it's completely empty, because then it will also take less time to charge. So, the chief charging technology scientist at Oppo, his name is Chef Zheng. He says we will continue to push the limits of high power flash charge technologies, actively tackling emerging issues such as the deterioration of battery health. That's the most important thing. And today's batteries, they last for a while. It's not the olden days where you could actually take out the battery and replace with another battery. These days, it's more sophisticated. You have to take it to an authorized dealer. So the 150-watt Super VOOC flash charge with BHE will debut on OnePlus smartphones in the second quarter of this year. So we're looking at actually after June, but when we get it into South Africa, it's going to be a little bit later, but hopefully we will see that soon. At the moment, most of you that do have phones will know that most of the new phones, the Samsungs and the iPhones, doesn't come with a brick. Now I call it a brick. The brick is the charging plug, or the plug that you put into the wall socket. It only comes with a cable. But you get the high powered or very high wattage ones, and these charge very, very quickly. But you must be very careful if they adapted to your phone. If your phone doesn't support fast charging, you can actually cause some short, and it can actually have an impact on the battery. So check out the story on my website at faizelpatel.com, also known as Wired to Tech. Now let's come on to Nokia. And before we started and went on air, my engineer Sadiq was telling me that he can't believe that the Nokias are still making phones. Yes, they do still make phones, and they make wonderful phones, even for the elderly and for those people that don't want all the sophistication of the current smartphone. And I must also mention, and I'm not promoting movies in any way, but if you watch the latest James Bond movie, James Bond, Daniel Craig actually uses a Nokia phone in that particular movie, and that phone is available currently in South Africa. So if you are enthusiast, you can actually check it out. So following the recent launch of the G11 and G21 last month, HMD Global, which is the home of Nokia, there's announced three new Nokia phones in their C series smartphones: the C21, C21 Plus, and the C2 second edition. Now, I'm not going to go through all of them because there's a lot of details in here, but it is available on my website at faizelpatel.com. So let's start off with the C21 Plus. The C21 Plus, Nokia said, is designed for durability and rigorously tested to achieve sleek style and strength while also delivering on battery life and, most importantly, remaining affordable. And I'm sure most of you at home had Nokia phones. I know I had one of them. Those batteries used to last forever. I think 1 week, probably 2 weeks. And I mean, it was rock solid phones, although they were bricks, but they were rock solid phones. And these battery phenomena that Nokia installed in these phones is actually filtering down to these phones because they do really last a long time. So that's the C21 Plus. Then the C21 brings an improved 8 megapixel camera with autofocus technology and seamlessly reads QR codes. I'm sure you know what a QR code is. Is those little black boxes you scan to scan an app or maybe an outlet, a restaurant, or whatever it is. Enhanced memory capabilities thanks to multi-core processors and efficiency, sacrificing the all without sacrificing the all-day battery life. Battery life, dear listeners, is very, very important. And then coming on to the Nokia C2 second edition, it comes with a 5.7-inch display, super tough and reliable Nokia build quality with even more ways to connect, and it boasts an all-day battery life. Now remember, all-day battery life from a single charge, which enables hours of talk time and days of standby. Now, I want to ask you a question this evening. I know you had Nokia phones. Who loved playing the snake game on Nokia? So the Snake game was one of the most famous games on a mobile phone, and I'm sure you played it at home. I do actually still have a Nokia, which Nokia has asked me to review. That's the Flip Nokia. I actually love that phone. If you still have a Nokia at home, maybe you can drop me a tweet on it, Faizel Patel 143, and also on Facebook and the other platforms, or maybe even on this particular platform where you are watching this show live. So the Nokia's a wonderful, wonderful device. They got smacked left, right, and center when the iPhone was launched in 2007. Remember, at one stage, Nokia, nobody but could compete with Nokia. And then BlackBerry came about. Samsung was here and there, and then Steve Jobs launched the iPhone in 2007 and knocked everybody out of the water. And now, to recover from that, Nokia really struggled. They went with different operating systems. They were using Symbian. They went to Windows, and now they're on Android, and now they're trying to rebuild. And I think they're doing a good job, especially for those that are tuned in this evening. If you have elderly parents, and if you want a phone that is not complicated, easy to use, look at the Nokia range. I mean, they're absolutely brilliant devices. Coming on to our third story, this is a story that I've written for the Citizen newspaper. For those that are not aware, I do work for the Citizen newspaper. I'm a senior digital journalist at the Citizen, so I do write for them sometimes technology news as opposed to writing for my own website as well, and also doing the tech show. So you can read the story on the Citizen website. And this is with regards to the Apple announces peak performance event. Now, if you check out the picture, they've got the nice little Apple logo, beautiful Apple logo, and at the bottom they got their peak performance. So this is happening on Tuesday, and there's a number of ways you can tune in. I'm going to come there to that in a second. So, as I mentioned, after much anticipation, Apple has sent out media invites for its spring event. They call it the spring event. Once again, the event will be virtual. That means broadcasting from Apple Park in Cupertino, California on the 8th of March. 10 a.m. US time. So 8th of March is Tuesday, 10 a.m. US time, works out to more or less just after or 7 o'clock in the evening South African time. So you can jot it down or make a note of it, or put a notification on your calendar. The event will be streamed live on YouTube. If you have YouTube, go to the Apple web account, and also on Apple's website and on the Apple TV device. So if you go to apple.com, you can stream it there. You can go onto YouTube, and if you've got an Apple TV like I do, then there's an app. You can actually go there. It streams live. Now, the Cupertino company is teasing the event with a headline peak performance. It is believed that Apple will launch a low-cost 5G iPhone, right? So that's the one they're speaking about. They're also speaking about a new iPad and a Mac Mini. Now, the low cost iPhone will probably be an SE, and some of you, I'm sure, are using these devices at home. The new phone would be the first update to the iPhone SE model in 2 years and is rumored to come with an improved camera and a faster processor. Now, while the company did not share much details, they don't give everything out. They just give little teasers because people will start trying to find and spreading rumors. So they only give like a tidbit out, a very small amount of information. So Apple Senior Vice President of Marketing, Greg Joswiak, tweeted a teaser, and you can see that on his Twitter account. He got like a little GIF there. So Reuters also reports that the iPhone with 5G capabilities have been a bigger part of Apple's focus. And the story goes on the first day of trading. Also, this is very important. This is the amount of money that Apple actually makes. And it's sometimes people like us and people like you at home that actually spend this exorbitant amount of money on iPhones. If you didn't know and if you're not aware, I actually written the story at the beginning of January. On the first day of trading in 2022, the Silicon Valley company shares, that means Apple's company, hit an intraday record of 182 rand 80 $182 88 per share, putting Apple's market value at $3 trillion. It became the first company in the history of the world to hit $3 trillion. The stock ended the session up 2.5% under Tim Cook, who's the new CEO. Remember, the previous CEO was Steve Jobs. He passed away of prostate cancer a few years ago. Became the chief executive following Steve Jobs' death. Apple has sharply increased its revenue from services like video streaming and music. But majority of the money is made from the Apple iPhone. I mean, this phone is exorbitantly expensive, and no doubt some of you have it. I upgrade every year because it's a phenomenal device, but they got phenomenal trade-ins as well. They only do it, especially the iStore at the beginning or when the launch is. You can trade in all your iPhone, and they give you a massive amount back, and you put it towards your new phone. Contracts at the moment are too expensive, but that's a discussion for another day. And then finally, coming on to our last topic for this evening, I hope you are enjoying the show. Remember, if there are any questions, you can send me a message on this particular platform where you are watching it, also on Twitter. On it, Faizel Patel 143. I'm also on Facebook.com/Faizel Patel and also on Instagram at Faizel Patel 143. And if you missed this particular broadcast, it will be on Salam Media's YouTube channel. It will also be on my website at faizelpatel.com, so you can go back to it in case you do miss it. Now, let's come on to this particular one. It's a very, very touchy topic. And the reason I'm saying this is because one of the things that we are flocking to, and a lot of us flock to, is DStv. Forget the movies and the kiddies programs and everything. Majority of the people that subscribe to the DStv channel is because of the sport. And one of those people is me, because I love Formula One. I love cricket. I'm sure you do. I know Pakistan is playing Australia at the moment. And I don't know what's the score at the moment, but you want to catch all the sport action. And the DStv subscription is actually very high at the moment. I think it's around 1,000, probably more, 1,000 and more. And if you subscribe to the other bouquets like the Indian channel or like my in-laws, the Portuguese channel, then it's an extra 500. And I think I am not clued up on the prices at the moment. But if somebody subscribes, remember, automatically you get access to the DStv app and you get access to the Showmax app as well. And what people have been doing, and what, like myself, I'm also doing, is that I ask my brother, hey, listen, what's your DStv login? Can I get your DStv login? He gives me his login name, he gives me his password, and he can have up to 5 or 6 people that can log into his account and watch DStv on a smartphone, on a tablet, or if you have a smart TV, and you watch everything live. Well, dear listeners, if you are a DStv subscriber and if you are running on somebody else's DStv subscription, well, I'm sure you heard the news by now, but there's bad news for you. So MultiChoice has announced that from the 22nd of March, that's the 22nd of this month, DStv subscribers will be limited to streaming only one device at a time. I hope you got it clearly. So only one device at a time. So if a person's got 5 people on his program or on his platform, and if somebody is watching live, the four other people will not be able to watch. So if Man United is playing Liverpool and Sadiq is watching Man United versus Liverpool, and I want to watch Kaiser Chiefs versus Orlando Pirates, well, I'm not going to be able to watch it live because Sadiq is already watching it live. That's basically what it means. You won't able to stream it live. Only one person will able to be doing that. So it is reported MultiChoice has also announced that subscribers will still be able to watch previously downloaded content on a second device. So previously downloaded. Once the thing is not live, you'll be able to watch that program once it's downloaded. So basically after action. You get the satisfaction. After action satisfaction, you're going to able to watch the program. But if somebody doesn't tell you who won or who scored a goal or whether Australia or Pakistan won or whatever it is or who won the Formula One race, you can still have that enjoyment. But remember, if anybody tells you, your whole basically viewing experience is ruined. And MultiChoice explained that password sharing and piracy are challenges. Are challenges for streaming providers globally. I don't know if people still watch movies and other stuff on MultiChoice or on DStv because you have Netflix and you have Showmax and you have uh, so many others. You have Amazon TV as well. Disney is coming to South Africa as well. So MultiChoice said that we will not limit the number of people using a login. However, we are limiting the number of people who can stream at the same time. So five people cannot stream at the same time. No, it's fine. We still got five logins. It's not a problem. But what we're doing is that we're not allowing everybody to stream together at the same time. And there's been a lot of criticism for my multi-choice on this. People, if you just look at a Twitter thread, I mean, it's absolutely, I mean, they were like, it was actually trending in South Africa. So people are quite angry. And then multi-choice said another other features, including offline viewing and other number of devices viewers can have registered for streaming does not change. So it doesn't matter. Five people can still stay there. Offline viewing can still happen, and while subscribers are still allowed to up to four registered devices. So if your brother, or your uncle, or your father has a DStv subscription, and Muhammad, Farad, Fauzia, and Fatima are running off the father's subscription, yes, you'll still able to do that. But if dad decides, as I mentioned, to watch Pakistan versus Australia, and Muhammad wants to also watch it, well, Muhammad's going to have to sit and take a back seat and watch it offline at a later time. That's basically what it means. The details, if you missed it, is available on my website at faizelpatel.com, also known as Tech. I just got a message that's come through. It's from Leah Lynette Robbery. Salam, wa alaikum salam. Do you know that data is mostly used the world over on pornography? How could we have prepared for what we didn't know? And she goes on to speak about communication and a whole lot of other stuff. Yes, that's one of the things that I spoke about last week, that we need to be very, very careful with regards to our kids, and we need to limit them what they are screening online. So put a parental guidance on and ensure that your kids do not search for things they're not be supposed to be searching. And then before I conclude, I want to share something with you. It's very, very important because I experienced this week. And I'm going to read it out to you because it's very important. If you got a data contract or if you got prepaid data, and if you feel that your data is being used quicker quicker than everybody. That means if you buy a gig now and maybe 2 minutes later you find out that you only got 500 megs left, and then an hour later you finish in class, that means there's something wrong. So I figured this out. I'm using an iPhone. So if you got an iPhone or if you got an Android device, you're gonna have to search for it. So on your iPhone, you go to mobile data. I'm going to show up the screen. It looks like this, mobile data, if you can see that, right? And I'm going to scroll to the bottom of the page, right? And at the bottom of the page, you'll see there's two settings there: Wi-Fi Assist and iCloud Drive. Okay, you can see they're not ticked, they're actually switched off. So basically what it means, Wi-Fi assist, if this is switched off on your phone, switched on your phone, automatically use mobile data when Wi-Fi connectivity is poor. So you're driving in an area where Wi-Fi is absolutely atrocious, automatically it will switch to 4G or 5G, and it will start using data. That's why maybe your data could be going quickly. Another one is this iCloud Drive. On Android, you might have the Google Drive, and it says When not connected to a Wi-Fi, use mobile network to transfer documents and data. So sometimes if you're using an Android or using an iPhone and you download a whole lot of pictures and you want to get it onto a computer, or you've got automatic saving on iCloud, if you're not in a Wi-Fi area, it's going to use your data and it's going to save it on there using your data. So that could be the reason that you are out of data and your data is getting depleted very quickly. I switched this settings off, and I've seen a great saving in the amount of data that I've saved. So check this out. It's on your phone. If you've got an Android device or you've got an Apple iPhone, also remember that there are certain apps that use a lot of data: WhatsApp, Facebook, and many others. Make sure that if on your device that background app refresh is switched off. So what does it mean? If you haven't got the app open at the back, on the back end, that app is updating all the time. And when it's updating all the time, and if you're not in a Wi-Fi area, it's using up your data. So please be careful, because data is expensive. For a 2 gig, 1.5 gig from Vodacom, you pay 129 Rand. For 2 gigs, you pay 149 Rand. And if that finishes in a few hours or a few hours, I mean, it's really going to cost you a lot. So please have a look at that. Another thing I want to share with you before we conclude: sometimes people, and I got a question last week from a Salam Media listener, somebody told me that they got no storage on their phone. That means they want to save pictures, they want to save it, it says storage full. Do yourself a favor, go to your WhatsApp, right? All the groups that you are part of, if there are chats and pictures that you don't want, that you don't need, clear the chat. So say, assuming that you're on a Faizel Patel chat, and there's like 2,000 messages on there, and there's 500 pictures. You can go to your storage on your phone and see how much percentage is being taken up on storage by these particular apps. And WhatsApp takes a lot. People send you Juma Mubarak messages, voice notes, videos. These take up a lot. If you don't need these pictures, if you don't need these voice notes, clear the chat and delete the chat. You will see a remarkable performance in storage capability as well. So another message coming again from this layer, and we're going to conclude with that. Parental guidance hasn't changed. The statistics, then we wonder why there's so much perversion in the world. Our minds are under attack. Technology provides the temptation to your every desire. Yes, technology can be good or bad. And I want to end off with this, a nice, profound comment by Mulana Suleiman Mullah, and he spoke about TV. There's all this controversy about TV, and I'm not promoting TV, it's a discussion for another day. He said TV can be used for good or bad. You can watch TV with ulama propagating deen and speaking about the beauty of Islam, right? Or alternatively, you can use TV to watch pornography, you can watch bad programs, kids can get involved. So, like the gun as well. And he compared it to a gun, like the gun in the hand of a policeman can stop crime. The gun in the hand of a criminal is used to commit crime. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the show. Remember, you will catch me next week at the same time, same place, for another installment of the show with myself, Faizel Patel. It is called Tech Bite. Remember, you can interact with me by sending me a tweet on it, Faizel Patel 143. You can also get me on Instagram at Faizel Patel 143. I'm also on Facebook.com/Faizel Patel, and also on YouTube for all the videos. And remember, Salam Media will have this on their YouTube channel. I want to read out one message. This is such kind words from Sipiwe Ibrahim Nkabinde. Wonderful, wonderful message. Jazakallah so much, Sipiwe. Jazakallah for your time, Hazrat. May Allah Azza wa Jal continue blessing you. Jazakallah so much. Even Leah Lynette Robert is saying Jazakallah. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please spread the word. Let's get more people to tune into the show. And if there's anything I can answer, anything I can assist you with, you know where to get hold of me, or contact the Salam Media team. And inshallah, we will then share it, and they will give it to me, and we will try to address all these questions. So from myself, Faizel Patel, please do take care of yourself. It's another work week next week. From my engineer, I need to pay a due attention to him and appreciation to him. He's been phenomenal, always helping me next week. Sadiq, Jazakallah for your time. And until I catch you next week, fi amanillah. Assalamu alaikum